honestly, and this might not be a popular opinion, but I think that fathers should take at least 80 to 90% of the raising of children.
Come on, man. Let's get into this.
Let's do it. You want to do it? Let's do it.
Let's go viral, man. Come on.
Let's go viral. Black fathers should take on 80 to 90% of raising the children. And I'll say it like this. If you have a son, Black women, if you are in a co-parenting situation, and if you have a son who is between, I'll give you some grace, 9, 10, 11, you should be emotionally, mentally, spiritually planning to let your son move with his father. Unless it's some type of abuse, unless if he works overseas, there's some major things that's stopping that. I promise you, you will save yourself a lot of stress, and you will put your son in a very good developmental space. We've seen it in Boys in the Hood. The moment Trey started thinking he was because you got to think your body is changing.
Mom don't scare me no more.
No, bro. I remember I used to be like, Mama, call my dad, because like at this point we just going back and forth. You yelling and screaming and mad and hitting me, going upside my head. I'm trying to get this over with.
This mom just don't take the belt from you.
Please. If my dad, I swear to God, I'm telling this, if I was to live with my dad at an earlier age, I promise you I'll probably be in a whole different position, right?
I mean, listen, I ended up moving with my father when I became a teenager.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it helps if you start doing this when they're little. Boys need time with their father, dedicated time, away from their mother and their sisters. It doesn't have to be much, but they need to know that they are welcome to come along to things. Oftentimes to things that you might not imagine they're even interested in. What might seem to you like a job or errand might just make their whole day. When you're going to Lowe's or when you're going to work on something or pick something up, let them know and say, hey, you want to come along? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it helps if you start doing this when they're little, because the same is true of daughters as it is of sons. When they were little, you didn't take much of an interest in what they were interested in, and you didn't include them in much. Well, then when they get older, they're not going to include you in much. But if you start off when they're young, devoting that time and including them on things, again, things that you might not even think that they would be interested in, you will be absolutely shocked at how it makes their whole day. Boys need time with their father.
Unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant, college is a total waste of time. I'm sorry, all the college people and highly educated people with really expensive pieces of paper on your wall. The truth of the matter is there's only 3 people in my life that I care to have a college education, or college at all. A doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant. At the end of the day, man, we have supercomputers in our pockets. Like, my son literally has learned Photoshop and videography through YouTube and is making significantly more money than anybody that he knows by doing photography and videography by what he learned on YouTube in 2 months. I'm not going to say it's a scam, but college is not necessarily the best place for you to send your kids or spend any money or spend any time. Just go to YouTube.